Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Hashtag Stop Galamsey Now.
Let the water flow. I will speak to him directly. President John Dramani Mahama. Yellow blood do.
This bulletin is live on Joy 99.7 and hits 103.9 FM here in Accra. We are on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, myjoyonline.com, and affiliates in all 16 regions of Ghana, including Kekeli FM Ho, Bishara Radio Tamale, KTU Radio Kofodia, Oil City Radio Takrady, and Castle FM Cape Coast. We are also live on X Spaces, Facebook, and YouTube. The Midday News is supported by Petrosol Platinum Energy, energizing dreams. Our top stories this afternoon: heavy campaigning underway in the Pandai constituency as the NDC and NPP gear up for the rerun of the disputed 2024 parliamentary election.
We are on grounds, we are doing campaign, and it was sure say Pandai for every team must be normal trouble.
Near Kosunina, her election way in Pandai, her state-sponsored election.
Meanwhile, the NPP's 2024 presidential candidate, Dr. Baumia, has launched a scathing attack on the Electoral Commission, accusing it of acting with indecent haste in seeking to rerun the polls.
Matthew Nyundam should be given his day in court. He has filed appeal processes at the High Court. He has filed for a judicial review at the Supreme Court. And none of those cases has been adjudicated.
Also, Ghana fires warning to countries across the world that it will not tolerate any abuse of its citizens after retaliating the mistreatment of some Ghanaian nationals in Israel.
If we don't insist that our dignity is safeguarded, nobody will do it for us, no other government.
President Mahama expresses worry over the rising chieftaincy, land and ethnic disputes across the country, describing them as a major headache for government and a strain on the nation's security agencies.
A lot of our security services are tied down in conflict areas. I mean, Sampa, we have a whole contingent there. You go to Nkwanta, we have a whole contingent there. You go to Boko, we have a whole contingent there. Recently, Savannah.
More as he reveals that some of the recommendations soon to be submitted by the Constitutional Review Committee may appear radical, but the justification behind them is compelling. In sports,
Ghana's para-athletes clinched 40 medals to earn praise as national heroes at the first ever West Africa Games.
Also, and we're in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi, where feverish preparations are underway for the funeral and burial of high life legend Lumba. But there is still drama as some family members have filed a suit in Accra seeking an injunction to hold the burial. Plus, the official countdown to the Joy Film Party in the park starting today. Join us as we take you to the venue, Ebri Botanical Gardens, to discover what awaits you at this year's event.
We're coming up with an initiative called the Ghana Village, which is going to be strictly to promote Ghanaian goods and art. But also this year, we're selling tables.
These and more with me, Pale Ofori. This is Joy News, independent, fearless, and credible. This afternoon, there is heavy campaigning underway in the Pandai constituency of the northern region as the NDC and NPP prepare for a rerun of the disputed 2024 parliamentary election. Both parties have deployed senior officials in the region and campaign teams to the area, indicating a fiercely contested race ahead of the Electoral Commission's scheduled poll. The declaration of the Pandai seat as vacant has become a major source of tension between the NDC majority and the NPP minority in Parliament, sparking violent confrontations in the chamber just 2 days ago. The EC announced yesterday that the rerun would take place on December 30. The decision has drawn criticism from NPP MPs and the party's 2024 presidential candidate, Dr. Baumia, who described the Commission's action as, quote, indecent haste, unquote.
Say the least, very, very disappointed. what is going on in our country. It looks like our institutions, democracy, and our tenets of democracy are being undermined. The issue of Pandai with Matthew Nyindam is not a new issue in our democratic politics. You've had issues with Dana Bodakpi, you've had issues with Teji Kweshin in Asin, and basically you've had the House allow the court and the legal processes to take place and be exhausted before state institutions are stampeded into acting in ways that undermine democracy. Matthew Nyindam should be given his day in court. He has filed appeal processes at the High Court. He has filed for a judicial review at the Supreme Court, and none of those cases has been adjudicated. So why the rush? Why the indecent haste? I think that he's being railroaded. I think that this undermines our institutions of democracy. I think that we should take a halt to these processes and allow him to have his day in court, just as others have done in the past. The House has never really rushed in this way when it came to the other cases. What is the difference with the case of Matthew Nyindam?
And here that the NPP's 2024 presidential candidate, Dr. Bawumia, on the ground, though, the two parties, as we are learning, are vigorously campaigning to take control of the seat. Let's take you live there now. I'm joined by our Northern Regional Correspondent, Martina Bugri. Martina, tell us about how campaigning is going.
So for the NPP at the regional level, they are saying that they want to exhaust all the legal opportunities available to them before they would go and do any campaign. We are told that on the 18th of December, the Tamale High Court has set that day to rule on the stay of execution. And so they say they want to exhaust all these opportunities before they can campaign. But in the constituency, the communications officer says that any day, if they go for that seat, they would win because they know that they genuinely want it and the people of Pandai would be there. Now, the NDC, on the other part, I understand the regional organizer and his team are in Pandai now as we speak. I spoke to the NDC candidate as well, and he says that he'll be arriving in Tamale this afternoon and heading to Pandai to begin campaigning for the seat. We spoke to the two communication officers. We can listen to them.
Well, we don't have that now. We'll bring you that insert later. Right now, though, let's speak to the two candidates. First, we'll speak to Matthew Nyindam, who's the NPP's candidate for the Pandai constituency. Good afternoon. Thank you for your time here on the Midday News. Now, first of all, what's your position about the EC's decision to set a date for the polls?
Anyway, let me say good afternoon to your listeners. Certainly, I have very little to say. When this issue broke up, I think that we've all spoken thinking that the laws of this country will work. But unfortunately, you have a government that is bent of removing Matthew Nyindam from his seat for whatever reason is only known to them. I've gone into an election, a very competitive election. I won my election, and unfortunately, what they are doing to me has never happened to any member of parliament. It's never been recorded in the history of this country. But unfortunately, in my case, it's different. So just like the commentary was read by the former vice president, my colleagues who, for some reasons, people challenge their seats, they were given the opportunity to exhaust the legal means. At least as a parliamentarian, somebody who has gone into an election, who have put all his best, the people trusted me, gave me a win, almost 4,000 votes. And then I have the opportunity to go to the appeal court, I have the opportunity to go to the Supreme Court, and the laws of this country will not allow me because some people think that whether I like it or not, they must come for the Pandai seats. What do I have to say? I have very little to say. I just hope and pray that one day, what has happened to me doesn't happen to somebody else.
Mr. Nyindam, I know that
That's
there are a lot of processes you're challenging in court. Now, if the ruling you're looking for does not come before the 30th of December, will you still go ahead and participate?
You see, my dear, that tells you that this is an orchestrated thing. This is a planting, a pre-planting. I'm telling you, the election that unfortunately gave this kind of the ruling that came out of the High Court, I can tell you without any fear of contradiction that nothing went wrong with the elections. Now the ruling has come. We have gone to the appeal court to challenge the ruling. They are not allowing me to even challenge the ruling. Unfortunately, in Parliament, they have just declared a seat that I am holding. For some reason, prematurely declared the seat that we should come and have a rerun. When we have a pending case somewhere 18th and 16th at the Supreme Court, then the EC now comes out with a date that we must go and have the election on the 30th. So you see how they have planned the thing. It is a planned thing. So I am not worried. I am not worried. I know, like I said before, people who are much mightier than I, Matthew standing here, they've got their share. They didn't even allow people who are stronger. How much more a young man who has just started life, who has nobody to speak for you. So I am waiting. The 30th will come. And if the 30th comes, I am not an independent candidate. When it comes to my candidature, I stood on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party. The people of Pandai voted for me. They never voted because I'm an MPP or an NDC. They voted because they believe that I can represent them and represent them well. So if today the state think that they can mobilize all the state resources, they'll mobilize all the state security, they'll come after me in Pandai. Well, what do I have to say? Let's see what 30th will bring forth. That's all I will say.
Matthew Nyindam, thank you so much for speaking to us. He's the NPP's candidate for the Pandai constituency. Let's go on the phone lines now and speak to the Deputy Director of Elections for the NDC, Rashid Tanko Computer. Good afternoon. Thank you for your time here on the Midday News. How prepared is the NDC for this poll?
Let me say good afternoon to you, and then afternoon to my former MP, Matthew Nyindam. We are very much prepared for the election. Everything that is needed for the election, we have put together as a election directorate for the NDC in collaboration with our secretariat at the northern region. We are battle ready for the election. Teams have started moving to the constituency. Indeed, yesterday, the regional secretariat, they were in the constituency to do some recce, and we have gotten the appropriate reports. And it's very positive that we are going to beat the MPP hands down. In fact, the defeat will give MPP, only God knows. Look, let me tell you, the former MP was talking of a legal process. Then they have not filed any active legal process as we speak now. There's none. The only one was the motion that they asked for a breach, and it was brought yesterday. The motion was supposed to be moved on 17th December, but the women requested for a breach of time, and it was brought back yesterday. It was yesterday they moved the motion at High Court for the stay. There was no stay. Yesterday they moved the motion. The judge listened to them and listened to us. And the judge gave us 18th. The judge gave us 18th for the ruling on whether to grant the stay or not.
Okay.
So as we speak now, there is nothing. There is no legal process that is arresting the orders issued by the High Court.
Okay.
That one is very clear. We must be very clear about it. They are doing propaganda all over the place.
So you are confident of carrying the day on December 30?
Oh, we are winning. We are winning. Look, that thing is talking of that they have some 4,000. He doesn't have any 4,000. These were votes that were nullified by the High Court.
Very well.
Because they were fake votes. They rigged the election and the High Court saw it and nullified the election.
Rashid Tanko Computer, Deputy Director of Elections, for the NDC. Thank you so much for speaking to us. We'll leave the conversation here for now. Now, away from that, civil society groups are pushing back against moves by Majority Leader Mahama Yariga and Majority Chief Whip Roxanne Nelson Dapiamapo to repeal the law establishing the office of the Special Prosecutor. The two have drafted a private member's bill seeking a full repeal of Act 959, which would abolish the OSP and transfer all its functions, assets, liabilities and staff to the Attorney General's office. Ongoing investigations and prosecutions would also be taken over by the Attorney General. The draft, yet to be formally laid before Parliament, emerged on the same day President John Mahama called any attempt to scrap the OSP premature, insisting the office remains vital to Ghana's anti-corruption fight. I will hear from the CDD Ghana's Dr. Kojo Pumpuni shortly, but first, here is President John Dramani Mahama.
Recently, there have been some controversy with the Office of the Special Prosecutor. I think it's premature to call for the closure of that office. The unique thing about that office is it is the only anti-corruption agency that has prosecutorial powers to be able to prosecute themselves without going through the Attorney General. People had mistrust for the Attorney General because the Attorney General normally is a member of government and is a minister of state. And so they believe that the Attorney General will be very reluctant to prosecute his own. But if there's an independent office like the Office of the Special Prosecutor, it won't matter who you are.
You have President John Dramani Mahama. Well, right now, the United Party also has a proposal with regards to the Office of the Special Prosecutor. My colleague, Michael Niashali, joins me in the studio with exactly what they are proposing. What do we have?
So this statement is signed by Solomon Owusu, spokesperson and director of communication for the United Party. And it briefly says that the UP believes that the real challenge confronting the OSP is not its existence, but its structural and constitutional fragility under Article 88 of the 1992 Constitution. And they think that this exposes it to legal challenges and undermines its credibility in the eyes of the public. For this reason, the United Party is calling for a patriotic and forward-looking constitutional amendment that will establish a truly independent anti-corruption outfit with full original prosecutorial authority, separate and not subordinate to the Attorney General.
Thank you very much, Michael Ashali, with the details of those proposals from the United Party. Now, away from that, Ghana has issued a strong warning to countries around the world, declaring it will no longer tolerate any abuse of its citizens anywhere in the world. The announcement followed the government's swift retaliation after reports of Ghanaian nationals being mistreated in Israel. Speaking on the Super Morning Show today, Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa said the action is a new era of assertiveness in protecting Ghanaians abroad, indicating that any nation that violates their rights will face an immediate and decisive response.
If the government of Ghana does not stand up for its nationals, nobody will. If we don't insist that we are respected, if we don't insist that our dignity is safeguarded, nobody will do it for us. No other government will stand up for us. The government of Ghana must stand up for its people, no matter who they are, regardless of class, of status, or creed. We are all Ghanaian citizens first, and we are entitled to clear protection under international law, particularly the Vienna Convention.
And that was Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa. Now, President Mahama has decried the rising number of ethnic, land and chieftaincy disputes across the country, describing them as a major headache for government. Speaking during a courteous visit by the National Peace Council, he said the conflicts are exerting significant pressure on the security agencies who have been deployed to maintain peace in various hotspots. He stressed the need to adequately resource the National Peace Council to help address some of these disputes.
All of us are concerned about the proliferation of conflicts across our country. There's a rising intolerance, you find, and it's as a result of disagreements, first and foremost to do with chieftaincy. It is putting a lot of pressure on our security services. A lot of our security services are tied down in conflict areas. Sampa, we have a whole contingent there. You go to Nkwanta, we have a whole contingent there. You go to Boko, we have a whole contingent there. Recently, Savannah, we had a whole contingent there. We've not withdrawn them yet. And yet there are so many of these, all over the country. Have to do with ethnic disputes, have to do with land disputes. And it's become a major headache for.
Well, he also addressed ongoing work by the Constitutional Review Committee. He said that some proposals being considered might appear radical, but said there are strong justifications for them. The committee is expected to present its report on December 22.
They met me 2 weeks ago and gave me a presentation of some of the findings they were going to make. Yeah, quite interesting. I was sworn to silence. They intend to present the final report on the 22nd of December. And so once the final report is presented, we would, make it known to the rest of the nation. I should hold my peace. I don't want to be like my daughter, who I reached an agreement with her not to let her mother know something. And then her mother came and we were sitting and she said, Friday said, Daddy, I want to tell mommy. I said, oh, but we agreed that you won't tell mommy. I said, that is not me, it's my mouth. My mouth is saying that I should tell.
Well, the president warned that terrorist activities in the Sahel are just across Ghana's border, close to the area affected by the Boko conflict. He said that although Ghana has not recorded any attacks, the country cannot assume immunity from the threats in the sub-region.
We have the issue of the Sahel. It continues to be a major problem. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. And these are our northern neighbors. And so we need to keep an eye on what happens there. Incidentally, the violent extremism and the jihadist and whatever is happening there is just on the border where we have the difficulty with the Boko affair. And so it makes us vulnerable, when you have a conflict or crisis in an area that is so sensitive, in terms of our security of our national territory. And that is why it is important for us to, try and get a handle on the Boko issue as quickly as possible. I want to express my appreciation to the Otumfo for the role that he has played.
Yes, you're listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7. Still ahead in the bulletin, the official countdown to the Joy FM party in the park starts today. I'll take you live to the venue, the Abri Botanical Gardens, to discover what awaits you at this year's event.
We're coming up with an initiative called the Ghana Village, which is going to be strictly to promote Ghanaian goods and art. But also this year, we're selling tables.
When I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth with Kale Charcoal toothpaste. This gives me confidence all day.
Anytime you meet Amma, don't be surprised I smile showing my beautiful white teeth because I don't have cavity thanks to Kale Charcoal toothpaste for its natural charcoal properties. In fact, we are like twins. I can't go without my Kale Charcoal toothpaste.
That be why I dey use Kale Charcoal toothpaste morning and night when I dey go bed safe. It dey make my teeth white when it dey comot every scent from my mouth inside. My confidence level they go up, so I dey show my 32 teeth all.
Introducing the Kale Charcoal toothpaste, formulated with activated bamboo charcoal powder, ensures whiter teeth and removes bad breath. The strong natural property of the activated bamboo charcoal removes bacteria, absorbs surface stains on our teeth caused by coffee, wines, and tobacco. Welcome, Kale Charcoal toothpaste. Kale Charcoal toothpaste, Sankofa Yenchi.
Kale, happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
This festive season, Polytank is adding extra sparkle with surprise gifts just for you. Simply walk into any of our authorized Polytank dealer shop. Gets even better when you choose the Somo or Somo Super model, because you get to receive an additional gift for the kids in school too. Now, that's what we call double. Remember, Polytank comes in 4 trusted models: Hippo, Rumble, Sumo, and Sumo Super, with each build with a guaranteed quality Ghanaians have trusted. Choose Polytank. It's the original and always the best. This offer is only valid this festive season. Polytank, Papa Nono, and Kasa.
This year is going to be sweet. I don't just feel it, I know it, because the Luckiest Season 3 is back.
And I'm about to show you how to grab your golden ticket. Just dial dial *712# and follow the prompts to purchase your ticket, or go to the luckiestafrica.com, hit community tickets and pick your lucky number.
Or let the system do its magic. Choose how much you want to spend from 1 to 5,000 Ghana cedis. You can even buy a ticket for someone else. Be someone's hero. Payment? Easy. Mobile money in Ghana or card if you're international.
One ticket can turn 1 CD into 500 times more. That's maths we love. Or your community will win 10 times more. So let's get lucky together, because luck is everywhere.
Dear Santa, I don't want a lot this holiday. All I want this holiday is on DSTV, so I can watch all my favorite kids shows on Cartoon Network, Nick Jr. and Nicktoons. Also, Daddy can watch all his football games, and Mommy can watch all her telenovelas.
Ho ho ho! No brainer cook this Christmas. Get yourself or gift that special person a DSTV decoder as a Christmas gift today at 89 Ghana cedis. DSTV, your home of entertainment.
Joy 99.7 FM.
You're welcome back to the Midday News. It's time to bring you sports. And Mubarak is here again.
Yes, Pearl. So Ghana's para-athletes won 40 medals at the just-ended West Africa Games, earning praise as national heroes. The team finished second overall behind host nation Nigeria. Now, the African Paralympic Committee President Samson Dean applauded their performance and challenged them to deliver even more on the global stage.
Looking at all the contingent, if you take out the officials, you can see that every single member of the team has a medal. And that is credit. I've been saying this to Africans, that when we go to Paralympic Games, we go to World Championship, all we see it's about 3 African countries. So can we also, as the Black African people, can we also achieve something? That is my aim. That is what I want to see. That we will go to championships, come with medals and not as tourists. I am happy that you did not go to disgrace Ghana. You have come with medals.
That's the president of the African Paralympic Committee, Samson Dean. Back to you, Pam.
Thank you so much, Mubarak, for bringing us the sports news. Now, Kumasi is bracing up for what many predict will be one of the largest emotional gatherings in the city's history, as thousands prepare to bid farewell to high life icon Charles Kojofusu, also known as Daddy Lumba. Fans of the musician say it will be an atmosphere of, quote, festival of grief and celebration, unquote, pledging their full participation, with crowds expected to flood streets, homes, and Kumasi Sports Stadium on the funeral day. Many insist the funeral may overshadow every event slated for that day. Clinton Yabua reports.
The streets of Kumasi have already begun filling with emotions and billboards as music lovers reminisce Lumba's lyrical influence, his uplifting melodies, and the deeply personal stories embedded in his songs. Fans say his music shaped their youth, healed their heartbreaks, inspired them through difficult moments, and provided soundtracks for their victories. Many have announced plans to storm the Kumasi Sports Stadium dressed in traditional funeral clothes, Brisi and Kobene, to show their final respect and affection.
Girls Lumba. I love him. Look at how we mourned him during the 1-week observation of his death. I am rocking live to the funeral in full force. We will turn the place upside down.
I've been listening to Lumba since I was a child. His lyrics in the Miyaka Quintum song is something I identify with. That is why I love him. But amid the enthusiasm, some fans remain unsettled by recent disagreements among factions of the family that resulted in a legal battle. They are calling for calm and unity to preserve the dignity of the funeral celebration.
One funeral and there's so many issues. I doubt it may even come on Saturday, but if it does, I will be there.
The musician's funeral is slated on Saturday, 13th December 2025. The late musician's father has reinforced the approval, insisting that the burial will take place regardless of any differing opinions. In the video shared on Instagram, Kofi Owusu, the family head of the music icon Daddy Lumba, claimed that the Menchia Palace has given him the go-ahead to hold the musician's final funeral ceremony on the slated day.
Ayo, anope ko Menchia de. Nke kwasi otumfo. Na so we
were not able to meet Otumfo, but we received confirmation and a go-ahead from elders who attended to us at the Menchia Palace. Meanwhile, with the expected record-breaking crowds, the Ashanti Regional Police Command and the family are yet to release a detailed security plan and administrative measures to manage the massive turnout.
Was related to the story, 5 individuals who identify as the immediate family of the late high life legend have filed a writ at the High Court in Accra to prevent the release of his body without their consent. Well, the court is expected to make a determination on this issue today. Now, away from that, the annual Joy FM Party in the Park returns to the lush green landscapes of the Abri Botanical Gardens, and this year promises to be more exciting. In addition to top-tier artist performances, organizers are introducing a new feature to elevate the experience. That's the Ghana Village. Now, what exactly is it? Let me speak to my colleague Noella Kavaniyale. You visited the place. How are things shaping up?
It's shaping up beautifully, Pearl, if you ask me. I went there, like you said, place is very lush, green, picturesque. It's bare now, but obviously in like a week we'll be moving there with our equipment to really set up, the place nicely. Last year I was there, and if you have been to Party in the Park before, you know how we do it. It's a picnic themed, event. So obviously you'd see people throng the facility, or the botanical gardens, I should say, with your mats, with your families, and really have a good time because it's Christmas. In the spirit of togetherness, we have fun. Well, this year we're tweaking things up a bit. We're not exactly doing away with the picnic themed event. What we're doing is we're selling tables and chairs, and so we give you a ticket that covers 6 family members, and then we give you a table with 6 chairs. And also, of course, like you mentioned, we're bringing the Ghana Village, which is an initiative that promotes Ghanaian art, Ghanaian goods and services. Listen, 26th December this year, you ought to be at the Abri Botanical Gardens, Pearl.
And I will be there. And that's how we end the Midday News. My name is Ofori. Good afternoon and thank you for your time.